What's up, gang? Welcome to the Greatness Machine. I'm your host, Darius Mershazday. I'm so pumped to have you here with me. Now, listen, the Greatness Machine, we're about two things. Number one, people who are living their passions. And number two, those who are creating greatness in the world and doing both of these things despite the odds against them. Each episode, we're going to feature interviews with game changers, business leaders, telling us their origin stories, what made them tick, what got them to where they are now. Why? So it can help you step into your greatness within your life, your business, and your career. Occasionally, you might hear a few solo episodes from myself, moi as I say, as I leverage my 20 years of entrepreneurship as a CEO and founder to help you grow and level up in your journey to scale your life and your business. So, come be a fly on the wall, enjoy the conversation, and I'm stoked to have you here with me. What's up, everybody? Welcome to today's episode of The Greatness Machine. Today, I'm flying solo, and I wanted to do a special episode, and it's based off of a question I was asked by a mentor of mine, and he asked me a really simple question that really got me thinking. And he asked me the question, he said, Darius, is life happening to you or is life happening for you? And I, for whatever reason, I've worked with a lot of coaches and mentors and been around a ton of CEO, peer-to-peer groups, leadership development programs. You name it, I've done it. No one ever asked me that question before. And I thought about it for a second, and my answer at that moment was an unequivocal, life's happening to me. I'm going to repeat myself. I thought I'm being vulnerable right now. I'm admitting something that I'd been thinking for a long time. At that moment, I never said it in those words, but I answered the question. I said, I think life's happening to me. Now, on paper, if anyone was to look at what I've done with my life, they would probably think I was out of my fucking mind for saying something like that. But for a really long time, I had, had this kind of chip on my shoulder. And it came from the fact that I had to grind so hard to get anything that I wanted. And I always come in with the expectation that I'm not going to get what I want unless I work my ass off to get it. And it's kind of a weird way to walk into any scenario where you just think it's going to come hard. And if I want something, if it's something I really care about, I'm going to have to work, and that's it. Now, let me just preface this by saying that I think that there's nothing wrong with that too. But I think coming at it from this, I'm going to have to grind. Nothing ever comes easy for me. I'm going to have to step up, that warrior mentality of I'm going to force it to happen. That's how I'm going to get what I want. And so and I think this just came through, time and experience that I knew I had to work if I wanted anything. And there's a lot to be said that you have to work hard for what you want. But was I doing it with the mentality that life was happening for me or to me? Because I think those are two totally different perspectives. One is what I would call victim mentality. Oh, yep, again, something didn't work the way I wanted it to work. Grr, time to go grind and fix it. Oh, of course it didn't work. It never works in my favor, right? This is a mind shift, by the way. This is a mentality. And I was steeped in it as you possibly could be. And it's something that literally just came to light for me weeks ago. And I was honest with myself. I asked myself the question, Darius, is life happening to you or is life happening for you? And it was an easy answer. Life's happening to me. That was my answer. And so I kind of sat with that for a minute and thought to myself, wow, I don't like that answer. I don't like feeling like a victim. Yet I knew for a long time that I had felt that way because I had used words like, man, I just feel like I'm cursed. I used to say stuff like that. Or anytime something good would happen to me, I'd wait for the bad thing to happen next. So I could never really enjoy that moment. And it's because I was approaching everything from this scarcity mentality of life's happening to me. Get what you're going to get ready for someone to take it. And, don't enjoy the goods too much because the bad's about to happen. And my realization was the biggest problem in all that. It's not to say life is easier for some than others. It's not to say that some don't have better luck than others. It's not to say that we can't fall off our horse and get, dust ourselves off and get back again. But if you come at it from the mentality of life's happening to me and not from the foundational belief that life happens for me, there's a shift that has not taken place for when tough things happen It's how you will internalize them and respond to them. So let me take you through that for a second. Because the minute I changed that word 2 to 4, I don't know, for whatever reason, but it's like the clouds parted above me. And I said to myself, man, I know I've been through some really tough things in my life. And I know that I've muscled through it and white knuckled through it. But it was always, but I almost was like whipping myself through that process because life was definitely happening to me at that moment and not for me. And I thought to myself, if I had had this shift of thinking, and I just thought back to just things I'd been through that I knew were kind of gruesome when I went through them and really painful when I went through them. And I thought to myself, what if I had thought to myself, this is happening for me? And I remember in 2019, I was, getting ready to leave TMS, leave my company. I was thinking about, basically stepping down as CEO. And and then I made the decision to do it. And I was talking to one of my mentors, a former guest on the show, Rand Stegan. And I was telling him all this like really hard negative stuff I was dealing with. And he said, what a gift. And I remember thinking, fuck that. This is not a gift. I don't want to deal with this. And looking back now, foundationally, yes, I understand why I didn't want to deal with it, because who wants to deal with hardship? But hardship inevitably will come all of our ways. And we have two choices at that moment. It can happen to us or for us. It's happening either way. So it's probably happening no matter what. So something's going to happen no matter what. You can't stop that, right? So if we know that something's happening and it's happening no matter what, we have a decision to make. And the decision's simple. Is it happening for you or is it happening to you? And it's a fork in the road, and they're two very distinct roads. Let's go down each one separately. The to you is simple. You're the victim. Oh, woe is me. This sucks. And if you've ever thought about something that you didn't like doing and that you just sat there and begrudgingly did it, you're counting the seconds. You're sweating through each motion. Every time you have to take one more inch of effort, you're just hating everything about it. And you look up and the clock's gone 1 second, 1 minute, 5 minutes. You're like, oh my God, I have hours more of this, weeks more of this, days of this. How am I ever going to get through it? And you're just burying yourself in this victim mindset. And I've been there. Trust me. When I used to work at McDonald's when I was 16 years old, I looked at that clock I clocked in on every 5 minutes for a 4-hour shift. 5 minutes, 12 times an hour, 48 times in a 4-hour shift. That was excruciating. And I couldn't get past it because life was happening to me at that moment when I was 16 years old, getting burned in my eyes with grease from the grill for $4.25 an hour. By the way, every kid should have to work at McDonald's. It teaches them hardship, teaches them what we're talking about right now. The other side of that is this idea of life happening for you. But before we go there, it's just think about every time you've, had those moments where life happened to you. How are you thinking? Oh, why me? I don't deserve this. I'm a good human. There's tons of good humans that bad things happen to. You're not excluding you. So bad things happen to all of us. But why is me? Why me? I wish this was over. And there's nothing good that comes out of that. You're going to be going through it one way or the other. And again, going back to this moment where my mentor asked me this question, I then just asked myself the question, is life happening for me? What if I changed all these things that I've always thought were hard, or things that didn't go the way I wanted them to? And what if I thought, this is life happening for you, Darius? This is a positive. You're gaining something right now that, as long as you have the perspective that this is adding to your toolbox of knowledge, experience, understanding, patience, appreciation, gratitude, that you're going to be better off. And the most important part of that, I think, out of anything, is that I'm not in this victim mentality. I then move into a creator mindset, which is like, well, isn't this a gift, as Rand Stegan said, that this is happening for me? Yeah, I don't love that this is happening, but it's happening for me. So I might as well make the best of it and enjoy the process. And what can I do with this to become even a better, more evolved, more proficient, more capable person? And it's been an interesting shift. I had this, about 6-7 weeks ago was the first time I was asked this question. And ever since then, it's been wild. I have these moments where in the past I've been triggered with anger. And don't get me wrong, I can still be an angry human being. But I do take that split second step and I go, before I take the step and I go, this is happening for me. And if this is happening for me, I'm so curious to see what's on the other side of this learning. And it's been this huge gift, because what comes out of that is this belief of gratitude, having gratefulness for hardship, having gratefulness for difficulty, having gratefulness for the things that we aren't necessarily expecting or hoping for, but persevering through nonetheless. Because if life's happening for me, then I get to ask a greater question, which is, wow, this is hard. I wonder what big, amazing thing I'm getting ready for. Because if life was going to be easy on the other side, or I wasn't going to do something special on the other side, I wouldn't need to have this for moment. This for moment is not valuable. But when you start looking at the greatest of the great, and this is the Greatness Machine, it's the name of this show. And I always tell people that this is people living their passions despite the odds. What I don't say is that this is really an underdog story. Despite the odds means that things are hard. It shouldn't happen. It doesn't mean luck. I don't call this the Luckness Machine or the Lucky Machine. It's called the Greatness Machine. And what I truly believe is that greatness is born through hardship and through struggle. And as our friend Ray Dalio says, struggle well. What are we doing to struggle well to make greatness happen? Because when we struggle well to make greatness happen, when we persevere, when life happens for us and we become better at the things that we care about, then when we truly achieve that greatness, we have that gratitude that it came because we worked for it. And don't get me wrong, I'll take an easy one too. I don't have to work for everything. You can give me some freebies if you want. I do believe 50% of greatness is luck, but you got to put in the work, and we got to work hard, and we got to have passion for that work. So again, having this mindset that creator mindset that this is happening for me. What is this gift that I'm receiving, as Rand says, that I can then take from it and leverage it to become a better, more proficient, more capable, more amazing human being, to then go create what? Create greatness, where I can then go do what? Leverage that to create change, the type of change I want to see through my work and through my efforts. But I think it really comes down simply to the question of, is life happening to you, or is life happening for you? So I'd love for you to ask yourself that question. The minute I started doing it, my whole world opened up. And for me, every day is a life happens for me day. And I'm rolling with the punches, because those punches are making me better. And sometimes I get popped in the eye and nose, and it hurts for a split second, but that happened for me for a reason. To teach me to keep my guard a little higher, teach me to dodge my head a little lower, to get that extra inch of proficiency so I can be that much better at the things I care about, so that I can really achieve what I want. And that's to be fully engaged, and that's to create greatness in the world, and that's to create change in the ways I'm trying to create change. And all I can wish for you is that life's happening for you as well. So I'm recording this just before Labor Day weekend. It's going to come out in the days to come. Hope you all have had a great summer, great Labor Day, and looking forward to our next episodes. Peace out. We love you.
You are listening to The Greatness Machine, and that's a wrap for today. Listen, if you love what you heard, subscribe to the show on whatever podcast platform that you're tuning in on, so that you don't miss any of our future episodes. We have tons of great people coming on, and we're stoked to have you here to enjoy it with us. Leave us a review. Tell us what you love most about this particular episode. We love getting the reviews. We love to see what you guys love most. And if this particular episode, made you think of someone who's leveling up in their business and in their life, print screen, share it with them. Leaders are the best givers, and after all, we're all here to support and grow with each other. And in case you want to see some of the fun behind the scenes shots or some of the things that we're doing, I'm actually writing about this in my weekly newsletter. Go to www.therealdarius.com and subscribe to my newsletter. We're talking about fun things like business and life and mindfulness and cryptocurrencies and gosh, I don't even know, everything and anything, but it's tons of fun stuff I write about. I try to get it out on a weekly basis. You can subscribe at www.therealdarius.com. And with that said, look, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. I love you. Peace. We're out of here. See you guys on the next one.
She's my lover.